In this video, I'm going to show you one of the biggest and most overlooked things that keeps players' handles and crossovers from being effective in games. And then I'm going to give you a quick daily routine to fix it in minutes. But first, I want to show you why this is so important. Leave me a comment. Which of these examples do you think will be more effective in games? 1A or 1B? 2A or 2B? Now, if you need to rewind that and rewatch them and drop a comment, go ahead and do that. But the main difference is the position my body's in, right? In one, I'm a lot lower with my knees bent. You can actually see the difference that it makes in your performance. Watch how my first step looks. In the top example where my stance is lower, you can see that my step is longer, and you can see I get that foot back on the ground quicker, meaning it's a longer, faster first step. Think about how that's gonna apply into all your crossover moves. Also, being able to get into those low stances is gonna help you sell your fakes, and it's gonna actually make controlling the basketball feel a lot easier. But the big problem is a lot of players don't have the mobility they need in their ankles or in their knees, or especially in a lot of areas in their hips, and that keeps them from getting in those nice low positions and stances. I'll have a detailed video of some common stance problems at the end, but as you can see, there's a lot of different types of low stances you have to be in. Now, this quick daily routine will help you fix that. Make sure you try the ankle break and crossovers I'm going to give you at the end of this video. After doing this routine, you will see a big difference immediately. Coach Jesse Muench with Get Handles Basketball. Subscribe and turn on the notifications. So here's the basic. You want to make sure your toes are pointing straight forward and get into as deep of a squat as you can. You can hold the basketball and try to pin your elbows back into your legs and pull your legs back. And I like to either twist the ball back and forth just to mobilize my wrists, or hand the basketball back and forth just to get a little ball handling in while I'm at it. Feet about shoulder width apart is pretty good. If that's too hard, you can have your feet come a little bit wider, but avoid doing anything where your toes are pointing out. That kind of defeats the purpose of mobilizing the hips and ankles the way we want to. As you advance, you can work on having your feet right next to each other, or you can try to take your shoes off. That'll actually make it harder because you won't have your heels raised from the cushioning in your shoes. Figure out which variation is comfortable for you and hold it for 30 seconds. As you advance, try to bring those feet in a little closer and eventually get rid of the shoes. Next drill, you want to get into a deep squat with your feet about 1.5 to 2 times shoulder width apart, and just tap dribbling back and forth just to get a little ball handling working, but then keeping that butt at that same low height and swaying side to side. Notice how I have my butt lower than my knees. You could try to advance by bringing your legs even wider like I am here, and don't worry so much about how many dribbles you're getting in. You just want to make sure you're swaying side to side 10 times. So left 10 times and right 10 times. Nice and slow. We're not doing this for speed. We're just trying to open up and mobilize the ankles, hips, and knees. Next exercise, start by sitting on the ground with your feet flat on the ground, hands behind you, and then raise your hips up and drop your knees down towards the ground. You'll notice you're going to be on your tiptoes for this. This is going to help stretch out your quads a little bit and your hip flexors, as well as your toes and ankles. That's going to help so you can get a longer, faster, more explosive first step from that crossover. Hold that for about 20 seconds and then just point your knees out. That's going to help stretch out your groin area a little bit as well, so you can get into a wider, lower fake on those crossovers. Next, you want to be kneeling, so you're sitting on your heels. Come upright, do a behind the back handoff just to get a little ball handling in. Come back down, and then repeat going around the back the other way the next time. This is going to help activate the glute muscles, or your butt muscles, which is the strongest muscle in your body. That's going to really help with your explosiveness on that first step, your ability to stop on a dime, vertical jump, so much more. You want to come upright on this a total of 20 times. Okay, before I link you to the video with the common stance problems and the 5 crossovers you should try after this, we're going to do a variation of a bridge depending on your level of ability. So you can see me here doing more of a basic back bridge, pretty self-explanatory. If you're more advanced, you can do it with your hands overhead, or if you're really advanced, you can walk your hands down a wall and all the way back up. All these are going to help strengthen your glute muscles. If you can do the one with your hands overhead or on the wall, that's going to help strengthen almost your entire back. All the variations will help open your hips and your hip flexors, and the variations where your hands are overhead or you walk up and down the wall will also help stretch out your abs. All great variations, and I would recommend you do 10 of them. If you're going to do the wall walk, I highly recommend you do it slow, keep breathing throughout it, or you could get lightheaded. As promised, here's the most common stance problems that you'll want to look out for, and the video with the 5 crossovers you must master. Do those after you've done this little routine, and you are going to notice a huge difference. Make sure you click that like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon to catch the newest videos, and I'll see you in one of those videos next.